We are 4 years into the 2020s, into this decade, and there have been so many great games that have launched. Today I want to highlight 10 of my personal favorite games that have launched in the past 4 or 5 years. Ones that if you haven't played them, keep an eye out, pick them up when you can, and give them a shot. So let's dive into the list and see which ones are your favorites. God of War Ragnarok. This is a game that I've loved since the beginning of the franchise. It's always been exciting, brutal, with amazing combos that you could bring to your battles. There's something about just solid melee action that's just keeps me drawing back every single time. The graphics inside of this game, stellar. The story is incredible. The combinations during combat are unbeatable, and really it's just one of my favorite all-time games. But then again, so are all of the titles that we're gonna see on today's list as well. So yeah, there's that. I will be honest, there are not many shooters on today's list, so I'm proud to bring all of you Overwatch 2. Many different characters or heroes that you could play as, tons of different abilities with all of them, and really a great team-based 5v5 combat that you're going to fall in love with as you dive into this whole Blizzard Entertainment world. It mixes some really serious gameplay with a lot of charisma and character that makes you really fall in love with the different heroes inside of the game. The combat is fast, fun, and very much based off of your abilities inside of the game. All characters are different. All abilities are different between all those characters. And when you assemble the proper players with the proper heroes and abilities, you can make yourself an unstoppable team. In addition to that, we're talking about a title right here that is big on the esports scene. When I was at BlizzCon, there was a massive event going on featuring Overwatch 2, and I can't wait to see how this advances over the years. Now let's talk about Dead Space. This game brings me back to my youth when I was just dying for an action-packed game that was absolutely brutal. Dead Space delivers and is back for more. Not only is this a undead killing game, but it's one that takes place in space where you have very unique weapons that you're going to utilize to take down all of these enemies. Weapons like you've never seen in any game before. The combat and anti-gravity mechanics inside of the game are unique to this title, and the gameplay is so action-packed, so creepy, with so many jump scares that it's going to keep you on the top of your game. It's going to creep you out, but it's going to take you into a universe that you're going to fall in love with, become addicted to, and want to come back for more. I absolutely love this one. Now, whether you are a lover or a hater of Diablo, Diablo 4 had to make its way onto today's list. I think that this game obviously came out and had some things that need to be changed, but it is still one of the best action RPG games available to play right now. Now, there is a lot of competition in the space, but Diablo has been doing this for years and really has an amazing title that's fun to play. If you don't ever make it to the end game, that's fine, because the journey to get there is incredible, enjoyable, and really opens us up to a vast world that's never been opened in the same way before. It's a great looking game with that whole top-down perspective that we love in action RPGs, and it's Diablo, so it's going to have similarities to other Diablo titles that you recall from decades past. Diablo 4 is a must-play on this list if you like action RPGs, and especially if you've played previous titles. Now, if you're looking for a world to explore, craft, create, and play with friends, Valheim is an amazing game that is brought to us by an indie developer. This is not a large team creating this game, yet it's gorgeous, it's vast, and it allows you to create your world on your own server. Invite who you want to your server, play with your friends, have PvE tasks that you could take on, and build anything that your heart can imagine. This is an amazing game that can take away your entire life. Essentially, you're going to want to explore the entire land, build the biggest of castles to live within to protect yourself, and take down the largest of beasts inside of the game. To do this, you're going to have to travel the seas, create some of the best weapons and gear, and really use some strategy and tactics that you and your friends will work on together. This is one of my smaller titles on the list that is actually one of my favorites. It's one of the best games that I've seen in the past 5 years. Have you played any of these games yet? Have any of them been on your radar? Or is this all new to you? Come on. Now, Last Epoch has just recently launched, and it is already one of the best action RPGs that we could play this year. Many different character classes that you could play as, and like a Diablo style title, you're looking at very similar types of combat with very similar types of classes. With this being said, Last Epoch does it the Last Epoch way, which is not the same way that a Diablo game will do it. Classes are similar, but not the same. Gameplay is similar, but not the same. This one is a lot of fun to play, and for any action RPG fan, you know that you're always looking to try and find your favorite, the one that feels at home to you. And this may be that option for you. It's a really great game. I have nothing negative to say about it, and to be honest, it's extremely popular right now. Last Epoch, it's a good one. Tekken 8. I have loved Tekken games since PlayStation's Tekken Tag back in the day. It's always been one of my most favorite fighting games. You just can't go wrong playing Tekken. The anime inside of this game, the combat inside of the game, the graphics, it is all absolutely amazing. So naturally, when I saw that it had recently released in the prior few years, it's one that had to be on today's list. It's actually the only fighting game on today's list, my favorite of fighting games that has launched in the past few years. Now, you may disagree, you could let me know down below, but this one is absolutely incredible, and in my opinion, one of the best in genre. Baldur's Gate is finally back, this time with Baldur's Gate 3. If you're looking for a game that is massive, with a huge world to explore, but not only with combat, but rich with story, Baldur's Gate is a title that's probably going to interest you. Get to know all of the different characters inside of the game as you make your way through this new world and meet all of the characters engaging in the story. Now, if you're not someone that likes a rich story, a world that you can explore, and something that you're going to take your time to become enriched by, this may not be the title for you. But if you do, this is the one. Resident Evil 4, bringing you back to that third-person perspective zombie action killer game. I mean, another one that we've been playing for years and years on console and PC that is back with a new rendition. The combat is still amazing. The game is still creepy and dark, yet satisfying at the same time, mixing puzzle gameplay with also some really serious combat with some characters that you already know and love. This is one that you could dive into and pick up right where you left off. Elden Ring, another action RPG, MMO style RPG game with a very vast world, some really great combat, some beautiful graphics, and just another game that can bring you into a realm that you've never been in before. The game is vast, gorgeous, and really offers things that some of the others prior on this list haven't. Different characters, different combat, and a different gameplay experience overall. Definitely something unique and beautiful in its own grotesque type of way. A very solid option for you that are into the action RPG, big world type games. Now, if you just want shoot 'em up style games, Doom Eternal is going to be the option for you. Here, we're not talking about story, we're not talking about lore, we are talking about blasting the hell out of all of the enemies that you encounter. It doesn't matter if they're far, close, there or here, you're going to be able to destroy everything that's in your way. It's like someone that likes to tear down houses, but here you're tearing down enemies. Non-stop action from start to finish. Doom Eternal does it right for all of you aggression-hungry gamers. Risk of Rain 2, a roguelike style game where you can take on this one with either a solo campaign or you can team up with 4 players and have a nice go at it with your friends. This game is definitely unique and with its roguelike format stands out a little bit differently than all the others on today's list. It was one that I had to feature because it was just different in genre and brings a different feel to all the games that we were looking at here today. definitely a solid option, especially if you want to play with friends and go in and enjoy the combat together. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on all of my top 10 lists and bringing you some of the best new games that you should be playing right now.